For today's demonstration, I'm going to teach you how to build a website for your small business using AI. It's very easy to do. It can be done very quickly, and you can have a nice looking website to put live and start generating leads, start sending customers there for proof of your business being real, things like that. It just adds a lot of credibility. So, what we're going to use here, the tool stack is Lovable, and we're also going to do the same build in Replit so you can see how they operate differently and what kind of sites they put out. I like Lovable the most for small business websites. It's really fast and clean for that. Replit is a bit more robust if you need some extra functionality out of the website. And then we're going to use Gemini for our website content. So we have a prompt here that we're going to use. It says, I need the content for a 3-page website for this business. Please write the content. So I can copy and paste it. And then I have a made up business here, just pulling this bakery in. If this were your business, go ahead and write a bit more details here. And then when the content is generated, make sure that you edit it and make sure it's truthful and correct and don't use fake reviews and things like that. So I'm going to enable Canvas here and send this to Gemini. And then we're going to get a design idea. We're not going to steal a design. We're going to get inspiration from this template marketplace here on Webflow. So we have bakery in our search. I already pulled this up here. And we're going to find one that has an interesting design that we can use. This has kind of a fun feel. We're going to preview that in our browser. It's not specifically a bakery, but I really do like the look and feel of this. So I'm going to use Awesome Screenshot, get the full page here. Awesome Screenshot is a great plugin for this sort of thing. It goes right into Chrome. You get a full page screenshot. I'm going to copy that and make sure I'm logged into Lovable here. All right, now that Lovable is logged in, we're going to paste in that image. Let's go get our website content here from Gemini. So it's written the content here. Again, if this is your business, make sure this information is correct. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to copy this content. And I'm going to go over here and say, please build this website and use the attached screenshot for design inspiration. This. Okay, I've pasted in all of that content. We'll send that on its way to Lovable. Let's do the same thing over here. We'll paste in the content, and Replit just shows the content pasted there. We'll copy this screenshot again and bring it over. And then we'll say similar, please build this website and use the attached screenshot for inspiration. Okay. And we'll start building. Now we're going to have to come back and approve the initial plan on Replit here. So here it has started building. We can see the code files that are put together here as it begins to write. And soon our preview will be live. So we'll just let that build for a moment. And then once this is built, we can publish it here with their service through Netlify. I'm not a huge fan of that. And I also get a lot of questions about how to publish these sites outside of the platform they were built in. So I'm going to show you that process. We will publish it in a service called Railway. Railway is one of my favorite hosting places for this type of site. It's super fast. It's really easy to use, and it has a lot of scalability if you add features to your site in the future. So we're going to use this deploy new project feature. And when we're ready, we'll deploy it from a GitHub repo. So I'll show you how that works once the site is ready. Back over here to Replit, it has built a mock-up. Let's take a look at this in a different page. This is the mock-up for the site. Doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's still writing the mock-up there. You can see it being built. Of course, do not use reviews that AI makes up for you. Make sure you use real reviews. looking to be a pretty nice design. Let's let that finish mocking up before we send it on its way. It's ready to approve the plan, but I'd like the mockup to be complete so we can screenshot that over here. When it's done, we will see what is built over here on Lovable. And it looks like we have this mockup. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this so we have it to reference back to. This is a great little design. We will save that here. Wonderful. And then let's approve that plan and let it start building for us. Now, again, it hasn't written any code yet. It just did a design. Lovable starts with the code first here. Now, to do a deployment on Railway, you're going to need a GitHub account. So you can go ahead and set those up. Those are for free. That'll be a different video to walk you through getting a GitHub account, but it's really easy to do. Just sign up for it and doesn't cost you anything. See what else is being edited here. Here is all the code that Replit is writing. See the files here. Lovable is continuing on with its build. Okay, here's the site that Lovable built for us. You can see that they definitely referenced the design given, but didn't copy it. We just got an inspiration from that design right here. Let's take a look at our menu and specials. And again, you could just edit this content for your business, even if something that you put in isn't quite what you were going for. The first time you can go in and edit it. For example, these images, we will have to edit an image there. And then we have this custom cake order form that it made for us. It also created order online, which I think is just an external link. It looks like Replit is almost done with its build too. I'm interested to see what the internal pages have, or if this is a single page site that it's building. We'll let that start up. We will open both of them in a new tab. Okay, here is what Lovable built. And then here is what Replit built. I think for today's, I like Replit's better. Let's see what else is here. Looks like it's a single page site that it built for us. This is actually a really nice single page site. Looks like we have a button here that has a color issue. Okay. And then we have the multi-page site here from Lovable. There's things I like about both. Let's take a look at a few ways that you could make changes here before you push this site live. I'll show you a couple examples. For the sake of this demonstration, we're going to try to change a photo here. So let's get ourselves a picture we can use. I will just have it generate a picture for an elegant wedding cake over here in Gemini. So I'll have that here. And then we will use ImageKit for hosting that image. So we will put that image up here and link that into the website. Let's find the image we want to change specifically. So we're going to right-click on this and inspect it. And this is the image that we want to replace. Okay, so we're going to copy that element. We're going to go back over here. And we're going to say, please change the elegant wedding cake image on page, let's give it the page /cakes with a new one. This is the element we want placed. And here is the new image. Now let's see if the image is created yet. There we go. We have a wedding cake. Let's download that. And we're going to upload that image here. There's our wedding cake. Upload that file. And once that's processed, we'll get a little link here. We'll copy that link, go back over to Lovable, put that in. And provided I gave it enough specific information, it will change this image for us. If I wasn't specific enough, it'll change something else, and we'll go back, be more specific about what we want changed. Over here, let's fix this button. So we're going to inspect this button right here. And we're going to copy that element, and we're going to go over to Assistant. This button needs the text to not be white when the button is not hovered over. Right now you can't see the text unless you hover. All right, so we have assistant here. This assistant isn't going to make a change immediately. It will look it up and then offer a change for that. Let's see what this was able to do. Refresh this page. And there is our wedding cake. So that's how you replace the images out. Okay. And this gives us the change it wants to make. So it looks like it's going to change the background to transparent for us. That should work. It should stand out just fine. So we will apply that change. You could change it to anything you want with that request, but now we have our button showing correctly there. That's how you change the content. Image change would be the same way we just did it here. Looks like we have a similar issue with the button down here, so you would fix that the same way, use the same process. And it looks here like we would want to put in links to maybe to our external order services like DoorDash or something like that. Over here, we have this form. So let's take a look at getting this form information sent to us. Now, I don't recommend having it set up email services just to send you details about a form. I would say just do a webhook for this. So we're going to ask it to send all of this form information to a webhook, and I'll show you what that is and how it works. We're going to select the element. Lets us be super specific about what we're getting here. So let's go, this looks like the form right here. I'm going to right click this, go back over here and say on the cakes page, there is a form. Please see if it is functional for collecting details. This is the form in question. Then we'll say, I would like the details collected by the form to be sent to a webhook that I will provide to you. Can you please see if this is feasible? With the current code, what changes will be needed? We're going to tell it do not make changes. We just wanted to look into it real quick. Okay, form is functional. Changes need for the webhook integration would be to do a direct webhook call. We'll just do this, that's fine. Yes, just do the direct hook call. So we don't to set superbase. Here is the webhook. Now getting a webhook is easy to do. I like to use HighLevel to get webhooks because then you can put all of the contacts into a CRM. So HighLevel is a CRM. If we go to peachy.com/GHL, takes you to a free trial of HighLevel, so you can get that there. And let me show you how that looks. Once you have your HighLevel account set up, which you can go, like I showed you before, to peachy.com/GHL to get a free trial, you would then go into automation, create a workflow, start from scratch, and add a trigger. And here we're just going to do an inbound webhook. Right here, this gives our webhook, and we're going to copy that over to Lovable. Now what will happen is once it maps that form, we will be able to submit the form and fetch the requests and input the customer right into our CRM here automatically. And HighLevel has all of the features you would need, such as emailing customers, emailing you that a customer has submitted a form. It has the ability to send invoices, collect payments, things like that. So it can provide the full back end for your business very easily. And the website you build here can just be a nice front end. So let's take a look at what we have. Let's go ahead and reopen that. Go to our cakes and fill in the info. Go. Let's pick a date on our event coming up soon. We have 15 guests here. Let's do a vanilla bean cake, textured buttercream, and I'm just going to test these fields. Make sure they come through in the webhook and submit this. And it sends us a little message. Let's see if that message went through. We're going to fetch sample requests. And it looks like the message did not go through. So it didn't fully complete the webhook connection here. Let's find out why. All right, so we're going to go over here. Since this was submitted, we're going to right click and inspect. We're going to check our console for any errors. I don't see any errors there. And we are going to go back over here and say, I tested the form and it showed the toast message. That's the little pop-up we got. It was sent, but it did not hit the webhook. See why. Do not make changes. Let's just take a quick peek at what it put in here. Okay. So in this case, I would like to have it do a little bit of logging. Can you please add console logs for this? So I can see what the exact error is. This is how you do a little bit of debugging here in case this happens to you. Sometimes it'll get it right on the first round. It's saying that it wants to do it with Supabase, which we can do if we have to, but I've connected these up with the front end call many times and it does tend to work. So I don't think we'll have to do that in this case. Okay. It is reset. Let's go to this tab, resubmit our information and see what we get. Okay, just putting in the field information and resubmit this information here. Forgot to grab a fill-in last time and that here, submit that. I do not see anything happening in the console at all. So that alone is a good diagnostic note. Nothing appeared in the console. That means the submission is not working. There we go. Check that out here. We will refresh the page, grab a bunch of form fields here. Okay, I've got those filled out. Let's see if we get anything in the console. Here are some messages. Okay. Here it says the webhook went through. Let's go check for new requests. Hey, they're coming through. Okay. Should have checked after the other one, but here we are. So our webhook is connected and working. Look at that. Awesome. So now we would save this here and create a contact out of it. So we would generally get the name, email, and phone to start with. So I'll just fill those out here from the webhook. Grab our email. This is the email that was sent. And here is the phone. There's the phone. And we'll save that. And then you could also go in and create a note here with everything else they sent. So we can grab those values and get all of the details like the event date and go down a line. We can get ourselves the type and guest count. You just go through all these and build a note for yourself, and that will go onto the user profile after you have that saved. And then you could set up an internal notification like this to send you a text message or an email when a request comes in. You could set up a notification here like this, and it would go to the customer. So you could send them an email with a thank you, we've received your request sort of thing. That is all doable right here inside. We don't have to build all of that out with this sort of platform. So now let's go ahead and get this ready to publish. We're going to connect it to GitHub right here. So we're going to connect that here and connect this project. There we go. Now we have this project up to date in GitHub, and we can, for a quick deployment, let's just test it and see if it runs immediately on Railway or if we need to do any prep over there. A lot of times these microsites can run really easily right over here. All right, we have the Crumb Co right here showing up. So we're going to grab that and have it create the project for us. And this is just going to pull this website directly from GitHub that we pushed there and push that over here to Railway. And the basic plan on Railway, I believe, is $5 a month. And it'll host any little website like that, no problem. And if you have to have a lot of them, they have a bigger plan that's like $20 or $30 a month that is still super inexpensive for hosting a lot of small websites. So we'll grab that here, let that build, make sure it loads up. Railway gives these little interesting names, so we're just going to go in and change that while it's building. Name that there. This is what it's doing in the back end, doing the build for us. It's like it's almost ready. Now it's in the deployment phase over here. So we'll get to see if there's any errors shortly, see if it built correctly and is deploying properly. The first time you push one of these out, it takes a minute to deploy, but we're not really putting in any extra work or tasks until we see if it builds correctly. It says it was built. So we are going to take a look and see if it actually is. You'll go over here to settings and generate a domain. This will give you a placeholder domain. You wouldn't use this for regular production or sharing. This would be just for testing here. But here is that website now. It is live on the internet right there. And you could go in here and put in a custom domain. So you buy the domain elsewhere. I recommend you probably get it from something like Cloudflare so that you can do a top level domain here. But you can get them other places, just not all the places will work with Railway. Cloudflare will work just fine. So that's where I would recommend. And once you put in a domain, you will then have your company website live on the internet and ready to go. If you ever need to make changes to it in this particular flow, you can just come back over here, make the change, and it will automatically redeploy. So this is listening for those changes, and it will just redeploy and have your changes live on the internet for you. And that is how easy it is to build a website and publish it using AI. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and follow. And if you need help building or finishing your app, click the link in my bio to book a one-on-one Zoom call to take a look at your project.